Before the fight, designate half of your DPS and half heals, preferably very mobile ones, to go into the dead realm during phase 3. Phase 1. Stack up all the adds in Rastakhan. You can multi-dot, it's just that all damage Rastakhan takes will be absorbed and split amongst the adds. Focus Siege Breaker Roka. He'll cast Meteor Leap on a random target, stack in melee range to split the damage. Once Roka dies, focus Prelate Zalon. She'll just cast a Seal of Purification beam that will just chase players, so run away from it. During phase 1 and throughout the fights, Rastakhan will cast Scorching Detonation on the tank. Once this cast begins, the other tank should taunt, and the Scorched tank should get as far from Rastakhan as possible to mitigate the damage it does to the raid when the cast finishes. Also during phase 1 and through the fight, Rastakhan will summon 3 plague frogs that will leap outwards from him in straight lines. Dodge these. On Heroic, these frogs will leave behind green puddles, so dodge these as well. Also on Heroic, only during phase 1, he'll summon a Greater Serpent Totem. All DPS must focus and kill this while dodging the fire it spits. And then also on Heroic, there's a third ad named Headhunter Galwana. He'll throw axes at random raid members, leaving a dot that can only be removed once healed above 90% health, so healers be aware of this. This mob is the last kill target before Rastakhan. Once all adds die, phase 2 begins and Bonsomdi will enter the arena. He'll also take no damage. One tank needs to pick up Bonsomdi and tank him to the very edge of the room, and no one should stand within 30 yards of him since they'll get a nasty dot from his aura of death. There's a faint green circle with a 30-yard radius on Bonsomdi for this. The Bonsomdi tank will need to reset their stacks, so at around 30 to 40, that's when we did it. The tanks need to taunt the other boss and switch places, making sure the bosses still stay in their respective areas with Rastakhan in the middle and Bonsomdi still on the edge. Bonsomdi's tank will randomly get Caress of Death, which deals a moderate amount of damage, and they can't be healed for 5 seconds, so healers should watch out for that. Tank Rastakhan in the middle. Range should spread out at least 7 yards for Rastakhan's Plague of Fire ability, which happens in phase 2 and 4. This will put red circles around everyone that will jump to targets if they're too close. A zombie dust totem will spawn that will mind control a random player. Do not attack the mind controlled player. CC them and kill the totems, which will knock them out of mind control. Random players will get Death's Door. Run to the edge to drop this off. At around 61% health, the mobile DPS at healers you designated at the start should stand by Bonsomdi, because when Rastakhan gets to 60% health, Bonsomdi will cast Bonsomdi's boon, and the tank who had Bonsomdi should run away from him out of his aura. Then the rest of the players near him will get ported to the Death Realm for phase 3. Bonsomdi does not require a tank in this phase. In the Living Realm, the tanks still have to worry about Scorched Detonation, but there will also be 2 adds that spawn. Focus these down and kill them. When the Rage ad casts Necrotic Smash, get away from him. The Retribution ad casts Grave Bolt, which should be interrupted. Also, Seal of Bonsomdi circles will appear on the ground, which should be soaked by 1 player only. On Heroic, there's a third ad named Phantom of Slaughter, which does the Grave Bolt as well, but will cast Focus Demise on a random player. Only that player can interrupt it. In the Death Realm, all players will get stacks of the nasty dot from Bonsomdi's Aura of Death. At around 15 stacks, run through one of the Death's doors around the edge of the area to drop your stacks, but stagger them because each time someone runs through a Death's door, it does some damage to the rest of the raid. Dread Reaping Orbs will move around the Death Realm and into the Living Realm, so dodge these. Also, random players will get Caress of Death in here, which makes it so they can't be healed for 5 seconds. Once Bonsomdi reaches 50% health, all players in the Death Realm will be ported to the Living Realm, and phase 4 starts. Scorched Detonation for the tanks, Plague Frogs, Plague of Fire, and Death's Door happen through this phase. He'll cast an ability called Inevitable End. Everyone needs to run away from him when this casts, since if you're in melee range of him, you'll instantly die. You can use Heroism or Bloodlust in this phase to combat Bonsomdi's boon, which acts as a softened rage.